Hey there, thanks for attaching the part. So it looks like you're trying to create an iPart and then drive it with a frame generator. It doesn't seem like it works like that very well. So another workaround we're going to do for you is if we delete out the table, it'll just make it a normal little part here. Um, then we will create a new assembly, make it a metric assembly. And I'm going to copy your part and paste it into our assembly. And it should come in at the origin and grounded. So you see all your planes going there. So now I'm going to save this. All right, so now we got our part saved and we have our 3D sketch. So we can come into here and insert our frame. So we'll find our tube. Let's see there. And I didn't say what it was, so let's just do a 2x2. And then you can go ahead and select your stuff. Now, typically I just select everything and then unselect what I don't want included, which would then be these things. Use the control button to deselect things. Let's see. And then you can control kind of how it goes. So typically on a box, it'll square it up pretty well. Then you set apply, OK, and it'll then pop them in here. So then you can kind of come back through and then select your parts. This is going to be in the middle somewhere, right there, and probably this one. Nope. So apply. So we'll just kind of come around and get them all set. And then on these ones, you'll notice when you put it, it kind of skews it sometimes. So then you can just select a line and select that face and apply, depending on what edge you want this on. I'm just assuming you want it there. And there you go. So now we have our frames inserted into this. Then you can come through and you can trim. So let's say our frame members that we want to trim are going to be these. And the face that is going to be there is there. Apply. Okay, let's do it again for the bottom side of the face. So now we pretty much got a quick frame going here, and then let's just keep going down the line. So these three to this face, apply. These three to this face. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so now I think we have all these ones on the outside and the inside. Looks like we need to get these ones as well. So let's select these and the face here. Okay, so now it looks like we have all of our bottom stuff. We got this one, and now we can work on our upper ones. So if we trim these ones and select the face to the bottom and apply, we'll trim them all. And then this guy to here, then to there, and we're getting there. Okay. Now there is a limitation as far as getting the center part in. I just am going to do a notch for now. There's other ways you can do it, but that's not really what our issue is. So that'll split it into two different parts. So I think we have everything split up into individual pieces. And there you go. So that's getting our frame generated. Now, if we turn off the visibility, you have your part. Let's see here. Okay, so now you want to change the size. Well, in order to do that, you'd have to come into the part here and then change your 3D sketch. So if we turn on our view, you can do your iLogic little browser here, and you could then create a form. So you would add a form, and then from here, you would drag your stuff in, and it would create this little table, and then you can drive it. So that way you would change this to, let's say, 1800, and the whole thing would change. But that's kind of not what we want to do, because we want to do it from the top level from the actual part here. So the easiest way to do it is if we go to rules and we add another rule. So we'll just call this one rule 0. And it brings up our little iLogic box. So if we go to our part here and you drop this down, you go to our user parameters, that's where these are defined. Double click on this guy, and we're just going to do this like so. This one, and this one. So now we have our parameter, our part, and our table. So the first part of it here, instead of having this little :1, we're going to do .ipt. So that's going to call part. So copy this, paste, paste, and paste. So now it's going to reference that part. So now we're going to set a user parameter to table x equals table y equals table top h, and lastly roller top t. So we're going to then save this, close that, go to our parameters for the assembly, and we're going to add some parameters. So this one's going to be called table x, and the value is 1600. And another one called table y, and that value was 1800. And table top h would then be, what is that, 862. And last one is roller top t, which is 25, I think, something like that. So then, if we come into our form, we can add our form from the top level, and you'll see these show up. Drag them in, hit OK. So now when we pull up our form, here it is. Let's change this to 2000, 2000, done. Okay, so then you have your form, and then you can change it to, don't try and jump too much. It doesn't really like it on a 3D sketch if you jump it by too big, but then once you change these things, it should update. So let's change this to 600 and see what happens. So in this case, if you have multiple instances, you can just go through and set your X and Y and H, and then save a copy as to a new assembly, and check it into the vault. Not sure how you're doing your data management, but that'd be the easiest way, I would say. So that way it's linked to your model and into your top level. Usually I stick this little guy right here. So that way you can hop to your form, change your values, and then it'll update in your drawings to the frame itself. So hopefully that gets you going and gets you around from having to use the iPart with the frame generator.